It's me again. Reminds me of that Ray Stevens song. It's me again, Margaret. Something along. Anyway, I'm showing my age. So, this week on Crochet at the Beginning, we did part 2 of the Crochet-A-Long granny shopping bag. And I hope you all are having fun with that. But it's Wednesday here, so which means that JR is at Kimpo and I have knitting time. So as usual, I did work a little bit on the first row of the double knitting project, and part of it is I am honestly trying to find the most comfortable way for me to work the double knit, because there are several different ways you can hold it. I mean, I'm an English knitter, so I throw my yarn. I usually have both my yarn in my right hand, and then I throw my stitches, which, yes, I know is not the quickest way to do it, but I am not interested in speed for the most part. And yeah, I can do it this way, where I have one yarn in each hand, because I do know how to knit continental. To me, this takes longer. It takes longer for me to knit continental than it does for me to throw. And I realized that if I practiced it, I would build up my speed. I don't mind knitting in continental. I'm just not huge on purling and continental style. Most people say it's easier, but for me, it isn't. I honestly probably will be shifting from this over to JR's neon blanket, because I really want to get that done for him before winter, because we have Australian shepherds at home, and so they are very fluffy, and so they tend to like cooler weathers. So our house is usually stays anywhere between 68 to 72 degrees year round in the summer. Well, in the winter time, they love it because they usually just stay downstairs, which is a few degrees cooler than it is upstairs. But I'm frugal to a point, and yeah, I'm not feeling this tonight, so we're gonna shift. I work on basically what I want to, providing that I don't have a commission, and right now I'm not getting paid to knit or crochet anything. Yeah, and that includes the granny shopping. I'm not being paid to do any of that. But anyway, this is his neon blanket. And basically what it is, it's strips that are this wide, that are basically, you either attach them as you go, which is what I'm doing here, because see, here's the rest of this stripe right here. I have a person in the car right next to me, and I'm just attaching it as I go up the strip. That's the word I'm looking for. And so, but I have to make numerous of these, and my husband is not exactly short. So it's quite a tall blanket. But I'm doing my best to get this done. But I don't like purling continental. I don't mind knitting continental. Knitting, to me, continental is actually easier than purling, than knitting English style, in my opinion. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sit here and go crazy with it. And yeah, I know I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry. So I guess today we're gonna be working on this. I'm not really feeling it either, but I want to get it done. And I figure I only have like maybe a month and a half more before it starts getting cool. So anyway, what I was getting at is we are not planning on raising the temp in the house. So we're going to try, keyword here is try, to keep the house running about 65, which means that we're gonna need some blankies on the couch. And yes, I know we can buy blankies that are not hand knit and it would all be done and settled, and for me that's fine. I don't mind. I will do that. I already have several blankies because honestly 9 times out of 10, even if the house is 70 or something, I still curl up in a blankie. I think it's in the girls' genetics that they just automatically want a blankie. But JR wants a handmade one. So, and he loves these colors, the bright neon colors that hurts my eyes. Like I said before, he's seen this yarn, I think last year, but he couldn't determine what he wanted with it. And I know it may seem like I just buy yarn willy-nilly, but I don't. If I don't have a specific pattern in mind for it, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to purchase it. I mean, yes, I did go buy yarn yesterday. There's a purpose for it. I am going to use it to make hats and scarves that hopefully when my mother does her craft booth again, she did enjoy doing it. When she does her craft booth again, she said that if I wanted to, if I had stuff made, she would sell it for me. Well, I'm not crazy. And so I was like, okay. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of hats and scarves and things like that. And so instead of, I always have at least 2 projects on hand working. I usually always have a big project, which is like a blanket. And then I usually have a small project that is easily carried around. Usually my small projects are socks. If they're all I'm working on, I can tear a pair of socks out in a week. But at the same time, that's all I'm working on, nothing else. Now, if I have a commission or somebody is wanting me to make them something, then yeah, that's all I work on. If you're paying me to do something, the only thing that I'm going to be working on is your item. I've had that asked to me before because I rotate through projects so much. And I'm like, no, I go, if this is what you're paying me to do, then yeah, that's it. That's all I'm working on. Even if I'm test knitting or test crocheting something for somebody, that's usually the only thing I'm working on at that time. But anyway, back to what I was saying, I usually have one big project on my needles or hook on in my work in progress, and then a small project. So I'm like, okay, well, hats aren't really what I consider a small project, so to speak. But in this instance, you know, I think that it would be conducive. So, I had to go get yarn for hats. See, sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't have on this, shouldn't have just cast it on for the whole width of the blanket, and then just sectioned off parts. And that way I could have done it all at once, but the problem with that would have meant that each strip would have looked basically the same. This way, each strip is going to be different, so it looks more with the arrows. But this way is actually time consuming for me, because if I could just do it all across, it would be so much quicker. I kid you not, it would be so much faster. But we're going for the look. But, so, I figure instead of socks, we're going to make hats and cowls and scarves and things like that. And we've got one hat done, and I learned an interesting mock cable doing it, and I really like how it looks. And so we're probably going to turn around and make a matching hat and scarf using that mock cable. And I think since we're going to be designing it, we'll be able to list it as a pattern for people. I don't do design work a lot. Just because, honestly, when I do design work, I don't do it as I knit or crochet. I do it in my head first. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I have about 4 designs, I think, already designed, but I haven't had time, and I've got them all wrote out. But I haven't had time to actually do them. So I can't even put them out to a test knitter or anything like that, because it is rough. And plus, honestly, I have to be careful how I do things, because I can't let my craft work take up all of my time, because I still want some time to, you know, just sit down and enjoy knitting or spending time with JR or whatnot. And if all I do is go to work just to come home and do more craft work, then to me it just doesn't feel like I'm spending time relaxing and resting and so on and so forth. So I have to kind of be careful. So for me, design work is a very, very, very slow process. I mean, the shopping bag Crochet-A-Long really didn't take that long, because basically there's nothing that new that I'm doing in it. All I've basically done is put different granny squares together. So that type of design work, when something has already been figured out, and all that I need to do is basically just go through and, you know, put it together, so to speak. That kind of design work, yeah, I can do fairly easy. But design work to design a whole completely new pattern from the bare bones, you know, from the very foundation of nothing is what takes me time. And I mean, yeah, I understand. I am not a normal person. Most of you are going out, you're working your 9-to-5 jobs or whichever type. And 9-to-5 job to me is, it doesn't matter when you work or, you know, but you're basically working a 40 or more hour a week. You're a full-time employee most of the time. I am not saying that I have it hard and all that. That is nowhere near what I am sitting here saying. What I am sitting here saying is, with me and the issues that I have to have a certain amount of downtime. I am unable to work full time. I would wish I could, because then I, you know, sure would make life a little easier for me financially. But I know what happens if I try to work more than I can. And don't get me wrong, I know my limits. I work 3 days a week. 2 of the days I work 8 to 9 hours. 1 of the days I work about 5 to 6 hours. My 3 days wears me out. I work the weekend, so I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll come home some Sundays and I will just collapse. But that's part of me. It's part of my chronic illness. And it has no damn thing to do with my weight. But, so, you know, I don't want to spend my 20 hours a week, half my week, working just to come home and spend another 20 to 30 hours a week doing design work. Yes, I probably could make money doing design work and more marketing for Handmade by Heather and so on and so forth. I could probably pick up more commissions more regularly, have a bigger YouTube channel. But the kicker is, I don't, as much as I would love it, the downside of it is would be totally wore out. I work at my job 3 days a week. I devote Monday to doing the laundry and to doing my videos for Handmade by Heather, and doing any design work that I need to do for the week. Because I need the break. I hate it. But I mean, let me give you an example. Yesterday, we got up. We had a decent breakfast. And we had to do shopping for the week. Well, so we went to Sam's Club, which, if you don't know, that's kind of like a big bulk warehouse store. Kind of like Costco. If you have a Costco, it's kind of like Costco. So we went there, and all we were picking up was dog bones, some pork, because they usually have decent price on pork, and you can get a big package of it, and we split the package out and freeze it. And paper towels. That's all we needed. That's pretty much all we got. We may have picked up some crab meat in the process. But that was JR's thing. He wanted some crab meat, so we got some. So then we went there. And then we went to Joann's. And we picked up yarn there. We did go by Sally's because I needed more nail colors and I needed more tips. My nails do not grow. I've done everything you're supposed to do to get them to grow, but they don't grow. So I either have to put tips on my nails or I use fake nails. These are fake. Do I feel that they are any less beautiful than if I actually had them professionally done? No. These actually are professionally done because my bestie in California makes them for me and sends them to me. I just don't have the ability to fly out to California every single time I need to get nails done. Trust me, I wish I could because I'd happily pay her to do them. But it costs me anywhere between $70 to $100 to get them done at a nail salon here in Springfield, Missouri. Not a bad price. I'm not complaining about the price. They're worth every penny. But for the same price, I can go to Sally Beauty or Amazon or a beauty shop online that sells to the public, purchase tips, nail glue, gel polish, and do them myself. And that one trip gives me nails for at least half the year. So that's what I've been doing. I've learned how to put tips on my own nails, paint my own nails, and apply them. I don't do acrylics. I don't do builder gel. I have learned how to do it. I'm just not good at it and I don't like the look of it. So I don't do it. Excuse me. We tried a new sleep medication last night. It worked a little too good. I still feel like I need to take a nap. So anyway, we went to St. Ellie's. I picked up some more tips and they were having a buy two, get one free off of their gel polish. That's not a good thing. So I bought 6 new nail polish colors. Again, not good. But you know, I have no control when it comes to that. And then to top it off, I needed some more nail glue, which I actually just used this Beauty Secrets nail glue. It comes in a tube like that, and I didn't really think I would like it because of the tube, but oh man, it works beautifully. So did that, and then we went to eat, and we ate at the Walk on Scenic in Springfield, Missouri. It is really good Chinese food. It really is. And then we went to Walmart. I should have known better. I had already done Sam's, Sally's, Joann's, and ate. 4 places dealing with people. Joann's usually doesn't bother me sensation wise because it's yarn. It's kind of like a bookstore. They don't usually bother me. Bookstores and yarn stores usually do not bother me because I have enough to keep my mind occupied that I can easily ignore everything that's around me. Apparently yesterday it was too much. I also found out the Sally's on the north side of town, north side of Springfield, is the place for me because the Sally's on the south side, their stores seem crowded. It's all closed in and just, they bug me a little bit. Well, the one on the north side does not. It's more open and it doesn't feel so oppressive. So I should have known better because I was already tired when we got to dinner. But I'm like, okay, if we can get all this done today, then that means, you know, we don't have to worry with it for the rest of the week. I should have done Walmart today. Got home, got everything in, got everything put up. I am thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to, I'm going to have enough time and energy here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to work some on our double knit blanket. Maybe we'll get the row done. And then we'll work some more on Kimmy's weighted blanket, penny bead blanket. I collapsed on the couch and basically spent the night watching JR, Kimmy, and Eddie play GTA because I just did not have the energy or the ability to actively knit and crochet. I mean, yeah, I had it in my hands and I'd take a stitch every 30 minutes or so. But that was about the max of my crafting last night because I was so wore out. Even, this is what drives me nuts and I don't understand it. I would love to work from home. It would make things so much easier for me. And I know exactly how, and if I needed a computer and a desk, I have a whole room downstairs. I just have to buy the desk. No biggie. I already got it. My problem is, and I have looked, I cannot find a work from home that is legit. Everything seems to be either you are filling out surveys or you are falsifying reviews. And I'm just like, yeah, I love this idea, but I just can't do it like this. And honestly, I'm tempted to go back to school for like medical billing and coding. Which, yeah, I realize I'm not going to make any more doing that than what I do working at the airport, but I can stay home doing it, which means this is the main issue as to why I like the idea of working from home. I can't work on the days I have my seizures. I can't go to the airport and work because I would be a liability to them and a liability to myself. But if I'm working from home, most of the time after my seizures, I am pretty much okay, but I am wobbly, unbalanced, and a little uncoordinated, and very exhausted. Well, when your job requires that you are on your feet for a good 3/4 of your shift, and you're standing there, and or you're moving a bridge from one place to another right next to an airplane, it is not something that you want to be unbalanced for. So I wind up having to stay home. So, which is a issue. I hate doing it, but I don't have much choice in the matter. I am not going to fall off the jet bridge and crack my head open on the tarmac, nor am I going to run a bridge into a plane. I don't want to fill out the paperwork. Plus, I ain't got the money to fix a plane or a bridge. So I stay home. Whereas if I worked from home, then all I would have to sit here and tell my work job is, okay, I've had seizures, give me a couple hours, let me sleep to where I can, I'm still going to be uncoordinated and unbalanced, but I'm going to be sitting down. I'm going to be sitting in a chair. And office chairs for me, I get the kind that are able to handle my weight, if not weigh a lot more than I do, because if I have a seizure in it, I'm going to be throwing myself around. I always have arms, and when I know I'm having seizures, you can say this is crazy, but I actually will put pillows around me on the floor or mats or something. That way, if for some reason I do throw myself out of a chair, it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna be as bad. I can't do that at my job. I mean, I cannot sit here and tell my boss that, yes, I can come into work if I can just handle the bags. If all I have to do is get up and walk from the office to the carousel and the carousel back to the office, and all I'm doing is handling lost luggage, I can come into work. That's not fair. And sit here and tell them, it's like, no, I cannot stand from 3:30 to 5:30 in order to help passengers. I can't do that. I have to sit in a desk high chair with a computer, and I cannot get up quickly. I kid you not. If I'm having seizures, it can take me 3 to 4 minutes just to stand up, because when I start to get up, my brain is sitting here going, no. And I will get dizzy. My feet will, act like they're not under me. My knees will not straighten. My hips will sit here and go, no, we're not working. And so everything is a very prolonged get up. And, eventually my illness is going to progress to the point that, yes, I'm going to be able to walk, but I'm not going to be able to walk for long distance due to the pain, wear and tear, and everything else on my body. And again, yes, I know, I'm fat. Whoop-de-freaking-doo. Guess what, though? That's not the problem. Studies have shown the more pain somebody is in, the more wear and tear on the body. Well, and nerve pain is one of the worst ones for it. I deal with that every day. So my body, for the lack of a better word, is probably the body of a 70 to 80-year-old, not a 40-year-old. This is what my doctors have told me. On bad pain days, I walk around like a 90-year-old hunchback woman. And, these things? I've had one for a while. At work, I don't use it because usually I can park close enough and we're fine. And JR doesn't mind going and getting the car when I need extra assistance. But it's funny. I started using it at work. It's funny how now it seems more like people are a little more understanding of the fact of when I'm coming in limping and walking hunched over and all that. It's funny. I have been saying for the last 3 years that I am disabled, and no one really seemed to listen, other than realizing that, yeah, this is an issue. But now apparently, since I actually used my tag, oh, she actually is. It's stupid. And it may just be me. I don't know. It may just be me. So yeah. Oh my goodness gracious, it's been 33 minutes. Well, apparently I'm going to cut this off now. And I'll probably start another one. I'll probably go down the same line that we're going now. And so I'll see you then.